Disney Channel stars grown in the...
You wanted to see something about Giant.
Talking about how they are coating our fruits with roaches.
And we got really tight and close on the craft, and...
No, watch this shit, dude. Watch. She sits down. Yep. Watch this. Puts the sign up.
Take a look at what happened.
Shots fall off.
She's completely normal. And then watch.
And then she's got her.
What the fuck? What the fuck? People are freaking out.
And she's filming.
And she's just like right there. She's not even freaking the fuck out. What the fuck?
Yeah, these new generation, they gotta capture the moment. It's not just a generation, it's all generations. Welcome back, goons. You're watching Explore the Weird. We're gonna get right into it. More For You page content. At the time of recording, attempt was made on a former president, and we'll see. There, we got people on both sides. It's interesting. All right, let's keep it going.
Talking about how they are coating our fruits with roaches. Now, I decided to do my own research, and the guy is right. So basically, they are coating our fruit with shellac. But how is shellac made? Shellac is made from roaches in India. Alright, I got a whole video on that. If you look at my other videos, you'll see the whole process on how they make the shellac with the bugs. They are putting that on our fruits. See, this is why you go into the market and you see all these fruits looking so perfect and shiny now. That's why. So look at this. This is supposedly organic. Oranges, mandarins, whatever it's called. Look at this. Coated with vegetable and or black resin base. Black resin comes from a roach in India. Look at this. Organic lime, right? Look down here. Coated with food grade. Of course, they always call it food grade because that's just what they do to make it sound better. Beeswax and shellac. Are you guys not paying attention to this? Have you not been seeing this all these years? Because I didn't. It's called the Lassifer bug. Alright, aka Lucifer. They call it Lassifer because they're basically just mixing the name up and it's really shellac. So they're throwing shellac inside of Lucifer and calling it Lassifer. Look at these apples. Look at this. They put it up under the bottom. In the bag. Look at this. Look right there. On the bottom. Shellac-based wax to maintain freshness.
Bro, I saw a thing of candy corn in one of the videos. The candy corn wax thing is also... We're always eating bugs. Even the chocolate is bugs.
I've got a better plan to save this country than any one of those candidates there. Alright, so we take retired semi-trailers, we convert them into multi-purpose farm units. That's what I do professionally here. We teach people how to farm local foods for their communities, the people that are being laid off because of AI, the people that don't know what to do, the people with no purpose in life. We build them farms and we get them producing healthy foods. All right, that's step number one of my plan, and I'm already 44 units into doing this. Okay? Healthy food, healthy mushrooms for everybody, all around the world, all around the United States. Putting people to work building them and running them. Okay? Makes sense? There. Farms everywhere. Part two of my plan. We continue to perfect this system. This is external power to make an burnable fuel, and we convert all vehicles into solar power hybrids. All right? So we've proven that it works. We know for a fact that we're making a difference. This is external power to making a fuel, and we do this to every semi-truck, every pickup truck, every minivan going down the road, and we liberate all of those resources, in which case the United States would be out of debt in about 5 years. So it's a $110 million plan. All right, but once you get it and you start converting all of these vehicles around the United States and putting farms down around the United States, you have yourself a fixed country.
I'm all about fixing the countries, but the math ain't mathin'. How do you get out of debt if you gotta spend money in order to get these things? Eventually it's gonna pay off. You do the debt now and then you rip the... Nah, math ain't mathin', but very cool, very cool. I haven't seen any of these trucks on the road personally.
How does one presume to know what a projectile from a bullet sounds like when it's whizzing by? We've heard whizzing sound. I've heard that when a weed eater whipped by some twigs through my ear, and I heard that. Okay, so imagine this line of direction. My right ear. Okay, my right ear. Facing you dead on, right? Like if this is the path, the path, it can be anywhere, right? The path. So imagine if he was turning, right? Now imagine at any direction. Now, if it's this little part of the ear that he's saying right here, how much space between the ear and your skull? So in the line of any projectile coming from this direction, you're hitting skull. How much angle do you have to, I can't even, how much to just, I can't even, to get that bullet to come flying. See, maybe like that. So maybe like that. It's coming right at you. And you're turning. Nope. Skull. Skull, 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 skull. The chance of just the chance of it coming here and just grabbing that little lobe and just clipping that little piece right there. I don't know.
I don't know either, and I don't want anyone coming after me. I'm just exploring. Just let us explore. Interesting, though. Very interesting. What side do you lie on? What side do you lie on? Goons, did you interact with the video? Come on now. Come on now. I shouldn't even have to tell you. A true goon interacts with the video before the video even started.
So this is kind of a heads up for everybody. So this guy got home after getting groceries and he's checking his milk. Well, in the bag that he had stuff in, milk got on other stuff, and he was like, what the heck? Turns out they put in the lid crack, like the seal on the lid. There was actually a pinhole in the side of the jug. So everybody be safe out there and make sure you check your milk. These people out here are crazy. You don't know what somebody could have put in that. But for real, check your stuff. Check us out.
All right. I hope this is an isolated incident. But I just bought this milk here in North Carolina. Okay? Just bought it. Got it home. And there's milk all over my groceries, all over my bags. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Where did it break? All right? Check this out. It's right here. Watch this. What's that? There's a little stinking hole in it. What's that from? I can't drink this. Look, it's leaking out. You see that? When I push on it? That little tiny hole. Unbelievable, man.
That's horrible. That's horrible that that container gave out on you. Or did someone tamper with that? I mean, the safety seal wasn't broken. I can't trust anything. You can't trust it. Don't check the... I don't know. We're going to keep it going.
Home, this next segment is for you. This Friday, the newest batch of Disney Channel stars grown in the Disney Genetic Engineering Lab will be unveiled to the public.
Right. Now, Tracy, most of our viewers are already familiar with a lot of the products that have come out of the Disney
I know
Lab.
I am.
Yes. But how exactly do you create a Hilary Duff or a Miley Cyrus from scratch?
Right.
Well, we're going to find out exactly how it's done right now, because joining us live from the Disney Lab is one of their lead geneticists, Dr. Andrew Rourke. Welcome, Dr. Rourke. There's quite an operation you've got going on out there.
Thanks, Jim.
So the stars that we see on TV are actually grown right here?
That's correct. They're grown and developed here. We engineer their brains for advanced singing and dancing capabilities, even posing for photos. By the time they grow to desired size, these child stars are fully ready for the camera or the concert tours or whatever Disney chooses to put them in.
That is simply amazing. Now, how long does it take to actually create a star from scratch?
Well, not very long at all. We use the exact same DNA structure for all of our stars, and then we simply tweak minor details like hair color or skin tone.
Right, yeah, we do have some footage here of some of the well-known creations that have...
Minor details like hair color or skin tone.
Right, yeah, we do have some footage here of some of the well-known creations that have come out of your lab. Let's take a look.
Yes, well, that's model 6831-A, publicly known as Mitchell Musso, standard male base with a type 3 skin pigmentation.
Wow.
And that's model 6831-B. We give him slightly thicker eyebrows and type 5 skin.
Well, so it's sort of like putting a puzzle together there.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Okay, here we've got some of the images of some of the newest models. We're going to be seeing a lot of these kids in the future.
It really looks like you have someone for every kid in America to love
Well, that's
here.
the idea, Tracy. Our writers find it very liberating. For example, our new model, Haley, is a singing, dancing, snowboarding, half Japanese, half Indian girl.
Wow.
Now, finding her in reality would be impossible.
Right, but sounds like a surefire hit to me. Oh, now this one's Zac Efron. I've seen him before.
Finding a half Indian, half Japanese girl is not... I guess so. I know what Kara's half Irish, half Indian. Oh boy. Wait. This is something else. I did not... this is not true. This feels... I don't know. Are they avatars? Who's selecting the skins? Who's selecting the skins?
The camera zooms up and there's, the ship, and there were two beings just standing there.
Let's take a look at that. This truly is fascinating.
We noticed that there was a small, what appeared to be a star below the moon, and noticed that this star was not a star. And we got really tight and close on the craft, and what we saw was absolutely mind-blowing, because it was the front of what appeared to be a disk. You could actually see beings, and some of them was the typical black-eyed grays, but there were other beings that were there also.
You could actually see the little beings up there, and they look like grays, don't they?
It's hard to say. It was hard for me to see, but it did appear to be something of a UAP.
Everybody that took LSD felt that they were undergoing enormous personal changes. They weren't the same person after having LSD. And there was a scientific study, it was done by a Rand scientist. And what he said was, even though all of these people said that they felt enormous changes, the personality test showed that they were largely the same person in every area but one. And this was called the Ways to Live scale. The scale indicated that one dose of LSD stimulated enormous changes, whereas the person taking the test might have said, it's important for me to get a corporate job, it's important for me to have a good car. After one dose of LSD, they were saying, I think maybe a contemplative lifestyle might be what I want to have. I think I'd like to travel before settling down. I think maybe I want to look for some spiritual value in my life. Things totally changed around.
I have taken this when I was in college, and I gotta say, I feel very different. All right, let's keep it going.
All right, you can hear it a little bit as it went by, as the two ships went by. You could hear a little bit of a disturbance. With that in mind, watch this. Okay, see how that happened? Boom, right away the first one comes in. It's all broken up digital signal. Here you go. There's the first one. Watch, here you go. Boom, it's breaking up everything. Then the second one goes by. Come on, everybody. This is very slow-mo. Look at that. Take a second. Look at that ship. Folks, that is a starship. That is a Napoleon ship. They love the circular thing.
That did appear to be a UAP, but at the same time, is this footage real or not? You know, they had to cut the feed. How'd they get the footage done? Or was it right after this? And then why cut it? They already showed it. You know, it's like, what was the point of cutting it? Oh, in case more. Was there more? I'm sorry. We're gonna keep it going.
All of what you see today are all just cheap knockoffs of the past, shelved until they could figure out a way to maximize profit off of it, while producing it as cheap as possible. Check out this 1950s electric skateboard, or even further back. How about the 1940s? Now, these technologies might not have been perfect back then, but it always amazes me how almost 100 years ago and beyond, their inventions just had so much more diversity and innovation. Here's the Autopad, the 1915 version of both electric and gas scooter. I bet all these two-wheeled scooters you see are much more durable and reliable than those lithium-ion batteries we have now in our scooters. The next one isn't battery-powered, but it's still pretty darn cool. Just shows another example of the many different varieties of awesome innovations on two wheels from our past that all seem more solid and well built than any cheap plastic thing we get sold to us today. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
Yo, some of those bouncing scooters, man, I gotta say, interesting, very interesting. What if they were made better back then, but weren't they also heavier? They're also heavier with all that metal and everything. We got that lightweight carbon now with the lithium ion, nice and lightweight. Never mind, we're gonna keep it going.
This really changes everything. In one original design, we were able to demonstrate the feasibility of employing a fixed structural belly pan by establishing new hardpoints from the onset, thus ensuring a normal ground clearance at all times. A further feature on our vehicles is freedom from dawdings and the fact that it is virtually impossible to be parked in. You may also have noticed that the exterior mirrors stay in position when the door is opened. This feature allows the occupants to check for oncoming traffic until the last moment before leaving the vehicle. On this particular model, we have chosen to eliminate the B-pillar and lengthen the door by 10 inches in order to increase access to the rear seats. These somewhat drastic modifications to the baseline vehicles have in no way detracted from the appearance of the cars. All of our systems are designed to significantly increase vehicle safety, efficiency, and convenience.
Yo, that's definitely cool. I mean, I also wonder, like, what if I want 4-door versions of this? What would that look like? Because, like, the 2-door version, yeah, it makes sense. But now the back's exposed. What if only the passenger wanted to get out? Now you expose someone else for no... Never mind. That's someone else's thing. Okay, we're going to keep it going. Why didn't they come out with these doors? That's a real things are happening. They're gonna replace our girlfriends with these robots. Never mind.
It's just a simple economic fact. Let's not get conspiratorial. Let's not get emotional. We're being poisoned as a population at scale. And that's happening because the largest industry in the country, again, just as a statement of economic fact, makes money when we get sicker, when we get more depressed, when we get more infertile. The healthcare is the largest industry in the country. It's the fastest growing industry in the country. More mortgages when we drive through a neighborhood are paid for by the healthcare industry. More people, their dignity is tied to that industry. And I worked for pharma and I worked for the food industry, which we can get into. They're very connected. And the raw economic fact is that those industries are fueled by an imperative for not only for us to get sicker, but for kids to get sicker. Chronic disease is the greatest economic invention, the greatest profit maximizing invention in human history, because it's recurring revenue and we don't die right away. And we think our savior's in a pill. We live in fear. We're told to trust the system and we keep racking up pills.
All the systems are against us. None of them are made to make us win. None of them are made to make us win.
We are mass poisoning this generation of kids. We saw this explosion of neurodevelopmental disorders. So ADD, ADHD, speech delay, language delay, tics, sleep disorders, Tourette syndrome, narcolepsy, ASD, autism, all these diseases that prior to 1989, we never heard of them. Right. We didn't know anybody who had them. And then all the autoimmune diseases suddenly exploded that year. Juvenile diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, these exotic diseases like Crohn's disease and lupus. Suddenly everybody, all these kids are sick. And the allergic diseases suddenly appeared. Again in 1989, or in that area, early 90s, peanut allergies. I had 11 siblings, 70 cousins. I didn't know anybody with a food allergy. Why do 5 of my kids have these anaphylactic allergies? Why are there EpiPens in every classroom? Why are there albuterol inhalers? Asthma exploded. I had a brother who had asthma, and his doctor told him there will never be a cure for this disease because it's so rare that no research will ever study it. Well, now 1 out of every 8 black kids has asthma. So what happened? Something happened. There's no other country that has this. We have the highest chronic disease burden in the world. Why are we so sick? And why is nobody looking at that and saying, we know that it's an environmental toxin. Genes don't cause epidemic.
Other countries are having the same systems being implemented. They just call it different things and they think, oh, we're better over here. Sometimes they are better over there. Sometimes they are, especially when it comes to food. But the systems can sometimes also fail these other countries. And it's not just food sometimes. I'm sorry, this turned into something else. I'm thinking about something different. ADHD, we're going to keep it going.
Given these scones on April 1st, and if you're wondering why they're so dusty, it's because I was given them April 1st, 2023. I don't eat food like this, so I put them on my counter, and 4 weeks later, they were unchanged. My husband and I weren't sure if we should donate them, so we put them into our garage with other donations to take to the food bank. But then we figured if they weren't changing, this wasn't something that we were comfortable giving to other people. They stayed in our garage for 6 months, our Texas garage, all throughout the summer, 90-degree weather, 100-degree weather. They're sitting in our garage. And nothing changed. The box just collected more and more dust. Then it became a question of how long can they last like this? And here we are, June 26th, 2024, and the scones have not changed at all. And they are blueberry scones, so there's the suggestion that there were blueberries in them. Blueberries are supposed to degrade, right, within a couple of weeks, especially being in 100-degree weather. Thankfully, we have found a home for them. There is a local woman who has different fast food things on display with the date that she purchased them so people can see that the food's not degrading. This isn't food, this shouldn't be sold as food, and it's one of the reasons why so many people feel unwell. The food that we have access to isn't good for us. It also makes you wonder, what does naturally flavored mean?
I guess you just have to stop eating food and make these companies go bankrupt so that way they stop selling it to us. I mean, what's the other solution? I can't think of anything else. What's the other solution?
So Pam, look right over here. This white stuff right here, this is called carbide. This is actually a toxin that they put on top of the watermelon to make it ripen faster. So here's the thing with this carbide, right? This carbide is actually a toxin that can interfere with the function of the nervous system. It's incredibly toxic. It's one of the ways to know if your watermelon is bad, meaning you shouldn't eat it. So when you see that white powder on your watermelon, that's one of the ways you know if your watermelon essentially has been poisoned and you should go with a different.
Okay, I did not know that I've seen that white powder on watermelons. I recently ate a watermelon, but I don't think it had this white powder, so I probably ate a good watermelon. I don't know if it's hard to pick a good watermelon. What's the secret? How do you pick it? Do you guys have a way?
As a Canadian that moved to the US, let me show you something. So this, right? And if you look at the ingredients, high fructose corn syrup. Okay? And then this is the exact same brand, same ketchup that I bought in Canada while I was visiting this weekend. There's a maple leaf, okay? Look at this. None of that. Tomato paste, sugar, vinegar, salt, spices. Made with 5 simple ingredients. This is why America makes you sick. Ever since moving here, honestly, I've noticed a big difference in the quality of food, just in the quality of everything. Like, it's shocking.
Bro, American food make you big. American food make you big. They're doing stuff to it, but it also feels sometimes interesting. It's like, yo, what made me so big? Never mind. This turned into something else. It always does. It's the ADHD. Too long of a reaction, Teddy. All right, we're gonna keep it going.
Everybody's just blind to the fact that we're just being sold chemicals in literally every aspect of our lives. Grocery stores, chemicals. Hair products, chemicals. Toothpaste and deodorant, chemicals. Like, you do realize that we can make all of these things from like natural plants and resources. Why don't we learn how to do that in school? Why don't we learn how to start a garden and live off the land? The Third World War started at the end of the Second World War, and it's a psychological war. I'm so confused.
Bro, I didn't even know you could make real pine sol with the actual pine sol and the lemon and the vinegar. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Wow. Talk about natural. All right, we're going to do just two more. Just two more.
The answer for swimming in chlorine, let's face it, your kids and you are going to be swimming in chlorinated pools. You see all my videos on how we absorb chlorine in seconds right into our bloodstream and how it affects our thyroid. Here's the solution, because you asked. Simple coconut oil. Rub it on before you get in the chlorinated pool. So here's the best part about it. It acts as a sunscreen as well. Win-win. Protection from chlorine and sunscreen.
I did not know coconut oil did this. Coconut oil has so many use cases now. I'm like, it's antibacterial. It's everything. You can use it for everything. Literally. All right. Just one more.
You wanted to see something about giants?
Yes, giants.
So we're going to start off really big. How's that sound? Here's the biggest thing I've got. This is from an 18-foot person, estimated. Big toe bone. There it is.
That is this part.
Yeah, your very end big toe bone. It's been x-rayed, and this person had broke their toe bone, and then it healed up. This is from an 18-foot person.
We were out at, we were in Turkey, and we were out at the village where we believed Noah's house to be. And years ago, they had dug up a grave that we believe was Noah's wife's grave. Just looking around where the hole for her grave was, where they had dug it up, and we found some bones. And these bones here have been identified by a radiologist and a couple of physicians. None of them want to put their name on their statement, but here's what they told us we have. That we have a human finger with a touch of arthritis. And this is the finger. This is this part of the...
Oh, that was a long finger. Yo, in Turkey, that's where his house was? I had no idea. I thought it was biblical. I thought it meant like, hey, they originated in space and everything came in. I don't know. There's so many representations on what it could be. Guys, you made it to the end. How'd you do? The last one was wild. I don't even know what to believe anymore. It's like, hey, I mean, there must have been an ark. I mean, our species is here. Were they giants? Was Noah a giant and his wife was a giant? Oh my God. But then the Nephilim. Never mind. We are at the end. You made it to the end. That is it. Stay safe. Stay strong. There should be videos on the screen now. Click on either one of them. Get the goon fix in. The one in the middle, you can subscribe. Goodbye. All right, goodbye. Get out of here.
Wake up.